secrets that you keep. When you're talking in your sleep and you tell me that you want me.
You know a lot more of that song than I do.
And you tell me that you need me. Okay, everyone, I'll stop. I will save all of that for another time. But
when we can afford a license.
There we go. There we go. Hey, spooky friends. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. We are your horror besties, and we're here to break down the blood, the guts, and all the spooky stuff in between all of our favorite horror movies. I am Emma, and right next to me is the one and only Allie.
I am Allie, the one and only.
The one and only. And Allison, what is going on? Tell me everything. How have you been?
First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, you guys. For everyone out there listening, we hope you are having an amazing Turkey Day.
If you're listening, thanks for celebrating with us.
Yeah.
But in honor of this joyous day, I just rewatched actually Thanksgiving, the movie.
You did?
Yes.
Ooh.
I forgot how funny it is.
It is such a great film. I actually am going to watch Pilgrim later today.
Yeah.
That's on my docket. So
you know what you should also watch is Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving.
Ooh, that's a great film.
It's a classic.
It is a classic.
By the way, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Because I am dying to eat.
Okay, this is very controversial. Wait. Okay, this is controversial. I actually don't like turkey. I love ham.
I don't feel like that's controversial at all. I think that's pretty universal.
I don't know. I just feel like people are like,
I know,
you're going to have ham?
I know more people than not that prefer ham over turkey.
Okay, well, great. I'm glad I'm in like a good club. So I would say a nice ham. I do love a great green bean casserole and a pumpkin pie.
I feel like you and my husband should have Thanksgiving together because those are his favorites as well.
What are yours?
I love the carbs. Give me the carbs. I want the breads. I want a cornucopia of bread. I want all the butter on my mashed potatoes.
You know who else likes butter?
Black Phillip.
Hell yeah, he does.
He's coming to my
Thanksgiving.
I bet he does, and he's coming to mine. You're welcome. Anywho, what have you been up to?
You know, aside from celebrating Thanksgiving and getting excited for the holidays and things kind of slowing down a bit, especially like you and I both in our just day jobs, I think it's going to be nice to kind of slow down before the new year. But that's giving me ample time to catch up on some 2025 horror films from our list. So you guys, just letting you know now, we're going to be putting out an episode at the end of the year with some of our like favorites and maybe not so favorite films from 2025 and like what's come out. So Allie and I have been really trying to watch anything that's come out in the last year and kind of just writing our little notes, and then we'll have sort of a cornucopia.
I'm psychic. I knew you were going to say that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I felt like I could see your mouth saying
psychically
it.
saying it.
So yeah, that's what I've been fucking up to, is just watching a lot of movies.
There is nothing
It's
wrong
the best
with
thing
that.
there is.
Yes.
The best thing there is. But anyways, Allison, why don't we get into the film that we're reviewing today?
Hell yeah. Today we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. And I don't know about you, but I had not seen it before watching it yesterday for this podcast.
I had also never seen this film, and neither had the producer. Weirdly.
Yeah. And I knew almost nothing about it except for it was basically like Night at the Museum meets Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Meets Hell.
Oh, see, I didn't know anything about it. My only thing, and I don't know where I got this, but I thought it was like related to Scooby-Doo in some way, and not just because Matthew Lillard is like a star in it. I don't know where I got that in my head. Maybe because I probably saw a photo of him in his Five Nights at Freddy's garb, and he also was with like the puppet of Scooby-Doo. I think that's what I might have seen, and I thought it was related to the movie, but I think I'm wrong. But yeah, I really didn't have any preconceived notions of this movie other than that. I also did think that, at least from what I was seeing with the trailer and all of the marketing material that's out on it, is I was like, oh shit, kind of a scary Chuck E. Cheese. I'm in, because I was a Chuck E. Cheese girl.
Yeah, and the new one actually comes out next week.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's a big reason why we wanted to do it today, is because we know the new one's coming out, and we just haven't even touched this franchise, so it'll be kind of fun. Franchise? Is it considered a franchise now?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
And I actually watched the trailer for the new one before I accidentally clicked.
Same.
I clicked on Five Nights at Freddy's 2 trailer, and I was like, oh, okay, this is super random.
You're like, weird, they haven't really set up the story at all.
I feel like I need some more backstory, but all right. But if you don't have any backstory on this first film, this is your spoiler warning. We're going to talk about everything Five Nights at Freddy's. So go watch it if you don't want to be spoiled. But if you're ready to come on this fucked up pizzeria journey with us, let's go.
Hell yeah. Ooh, I'm kind of hungry.
Me too. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, pizza sounds good.
Cheers, bitch.
Cheers. This film follows a troubled security guard who begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
Pizzeria.
And during his first 5 nights on the job, he realizes that something is very wrong with the pizzeria and pretty soon finds out the truth about its animatronics. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. That kind of tells you what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like we don't have to watch the movie.
What do you always say? It could have been an email.
Could have been an email.
Without me getting too deep into my thoughts on it, this film is it's not that deep.
It's really not that deep. Yes.
That's what it was. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
We love a little brain release when we just watch it and don't think about it.
Yeah. However, this film is in part so popular because there's actually a game called Five Nights at Freddy's. So people that are very, very obsessed with the game, and then when this film came out, I think that really garnered a lot of response of people really going to the box office, and any positive perception it got, a lot of that I think came from those folks. But this film was released simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock by Universal on October 27th, 2023. But that didn't stop people from heading to the theaters because it ended up with a total of $297 million at the box office on a $20 million budget.
That's absolutely insane. I read that before the movie was even released, the producer, Jason Blum of Blumhouse, what up, Jason? So before it was released, he said that they'd already made back its budget just from selling the streaming and selling to the theatrical distribution rights. Like, they already made all that back before it was released.
That's amazing. So, I mean, good for them.
Yeah,
you know?
Seriously.
Although it had this like financial success, it did actually garner a lot of negative reviews with critics specifically. And the biggest issue that many of them had with it was the characters' storylines and that there was a bit of an inconsistent flow, which I agree with. But one thing that they could all agree on was that the practical effects and the set designs were really good.
Yeah, I agree with that too. This movie didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I couldn't quite grasp why it is so popular, but I digress.
It actually makes me kind of want to play the game. I was curious if my thoughts on this film would change after playing that game.
It's like reading a book.
Yes.
Compared to a movie.
Before or after the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're going to have different thoughts.
Totally.
Yeah. But I think all in all, so all of that being said of just like the reception of this film, it did get a 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which I agree with.
Okay.
Do you think lower?
Yeah. Come on, it's me.
You know, I'm always so nice to these films. What do you got on Rotten Tomatoes?
So the tomato meter said 33%, which I agree with.
Okay.
And the popcorn meter said 86%.
This begs a little bit of a question, though, just knowing what the kind of scores are, IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. And, you know, we're kind of looking at this like very objectively, but I'm curious like how a movie with such bad reviews made so much at the box office. But I've already looked into this for you. And it's because the cult following for this franchise, it just truly runs so deep. Since its creation by Scott Cawthon in 2014, there have been over 20 games, 2 novels, a bunch of graphic novels, and so much fan fiction and fan-made games that it'll literally make your head spin. People love it.
For those of you who are like me that have no idea what the point of this game even is, or the fact it was even based off of a game, here's a tiny bit of a crash course. The Five Nights at Freddy's games are straight up survival horror, but very basic in theory. You play as a night security guard stuck in a cursed knockoff Chuck E. Cheese, trying not to get murdered by animatronics that come alive after its closing time. Okay, Toy Story.
I know. Hello. Night at the Museum.
Yeah. Mishmash of all those. But anyways.
Where's Teddy Roosevelt?
I've never seen that movie.
What the fuck, Allie?
Right.
Sorry, keep going.
So what's your job at this creepy Chuck E. Cheese-like place? It's to watch the cameras, conserve power, and somehow stay alive from midnight to 6 a.m. for 5 nights. And the animatronics get more unhinged each night.
Oh, okay.
Fail to stop them, and you get a jump scare straight to the face. Survive all 5 nights, and congrats, you fucking win.
Hell yeah.
Just me, or does this sound like a nightmare of a job / game?
Yeah, and I very, very much, I think, would follow Mike's lead here and be falling asleep constantly. But that's just me.
I just can't even imagine myself playing this game because I'm already out.
Yeah, she's already done.
Because of that, I'm out.
Kind of related, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie had a development cycle that felt like its own survival game. So Warner Brothers jumped to develop this during its early success all the way back in 2015, and they teamed up with game creator Scott Cawthon to write and produce. But the project stalled, the original director bailed, and it kind of just died there. But by 2017, Blumhouse rescued it. Love. And Chris Columbus, who is known for Harry Potter, Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, they jumped in to direct, and the script was finished. And then Scott Cawthon, he threw out his script because he had a better idea, and he had a little bit more delays because of this. And then this unfortunately led to like Columbus eventually leaving as well. But then finally in 2022, things came to life for real. So Jim Henson's Creature Shop signed on to build the animatronics. Okay, fucking dope. And Emma Tammy took over as director and co-writer. Okay, love her. Emma's clap, clap, clap. And that is how many times this movie almost got stuffed into a Freddy Fazbear suit before it finally happened. Ba-dum-tsh.
Love it. Can you imagine if we got a Chris Columbus script out of this? It'd be very different.
Very, very different. And I'm stoked about, I mean, again, we have our thoughts on this film, but I do think that it was executed nicely with the premise of the story and all of that. And we'll get into this as we talk about the film a little bit more. And I'm excited to see what Emma has to do with, because she's directing the second one as well. So like, I think that's cool.
Me too. And for a split second, I thought you were talking in the third person, which I love.
You're like, oh, you're directing a film? Great, 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 great. Anyways, enough about all of the backstory on this film, all of the holiday hoobie wuddy, but let's fucking get into this pizzeria journey. God, I'm fucking hungry again. Can we break for a snack real quick?
Break.
Okay. So this film starts in a like really dim area, and we see a terrified security night guard who is trying to escape something. He's clearly like super fucking scared, and he is trying to run away from something, but we don't see what this thing is just yet. And he crawls into the air ducts to try and get away from like said thing.
Why the fuck does anyone ever think that going through air ducts is a great means of escaping? Like, bro totally just watched Die Hard and thought this would be a great idea. Somehow it works for him, though, and he gets from one room to another via air duct.
Air ducts scared the shit out of me.
Me too.
I would never go into them.
I don't know if I've ever actually like seen an air duct that you can go into.
I agree. I think that California's just not built like that, you know?
Or do they actually exist like this?
I mean, they might. I should ask my friend who's in AC.
The air duct
stuff.
business?
Yeah.
Is that what air ducts are for?
Yeah. For all kinds of stuff. But yeah, airflow, basically.
Oh, God. Anyways. So this dude just escaped an air duct, and we can hear scatting from this unseen creature that's coming towards him. And apparently one of these robots is known for scatting. And I think the robot is named Foxy. And I'm here for it. It's lit. It's a bop. His little scat skills.
Why does scatting... Oh, wait.
Because it reminds you of Scatman?
Yes. Scatman Crothers?
Yeah. Foxy and the robots have taken the guard somehow, and he's now trapped in some kind of saw-like torture chair.
Yeah.
He's like bolted into it. There is some kind of animatronic thing coming towards his face, and it looks like a mask with gears inside of it, and they're trying to put this on homie's face.
Very scary.
But he can't get away. My question is, why do these robots or anybody want to kill this guard? We don't really get any resolve to that, but
no, yeah.
Why are we trying to kill this guard? Homie starts screaming, and that opening scene fades to focus more on the abandoned but very active pizzeria that he's supposed to be guarding. And it shows a lot of drawings on a wall of children that have 5 kids happily holding hands with a large yellow bunny. And then it goes into the Five Nights at Freddy's opening credits. So these opening credits use this Atari-like artwork to represent this backstory, if you will. And it actually depicts these kids are being lured by these friendly looking creatures.
I have a few thoughts on this opening too. I think that it sets up the film like really nicely in the way that they're using like sound design, like specifically the scatting, right? Or the metal scraping, the like heavy mechanical footsteps. Like all of this is sort of building on like, what is fucking coming after this man, right? And you're just like, okay, whoa, what the fuck is happening? Also, not seeing these like animatronics immediately is also like building more too for what we're going to see. And it's building like that scare factor, I think, like right out of the gate, which I think was really brilliant because for a film like this that isn't that deep, you need those points in the film and in the plot that sort of build that like dread. Then we are immediately into a different scene and we are meeting Mike Schmidt, who is played by Josh Hutcherson.
And he is of the Hunger Games and the Polar Express.
I didn't realize this.
He is his name in that movie is Hero Boy. So he plays Hero Boy in Polar Express.
Okay, King, go off.
But with Josh Hutcherson, who's playing Mike, we meet Abby. And I actually call her Bad Bangs because she looks like a young Victorian prince with those ringlets and micro bangs.
Is she kind of giving Lord Farquaad?
Oh,
a tiny bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, God bless her soul. It doesn't seem like Mike and Abby really have like their parents around either. And at first, I was like, is this his daughter? Or
that's what I
like,
thought too.
Total, right? And then, yeah, I think it's revealed like very shortly after that he must be like her guardian, and that's his younger sister.
Yeah. Mike is now on his break at his job of mall cop.
Mall cop security guard, baby.
Yep. And he's explaining to his friend that he's studying dream theory. And this definitely comes into play throughout the movie. But basically saying that everything in your life is recorded in your memory and you can access those memories through your dreams. And you're no longer an observer of your memory, but an active participant. So you can explore more, find out more, yada, yada, yada. So we know this is part of Mike's journey. And while he's on his lunch break, he sees an older man approaching a small child and runs after the dude, assuming that he's trying to kidnap the kid. And I mean, technically his job is security. He is doing his job, but I guess the punching is where the line was drawn. Not so good. And it seems like this instance triggered something in Mike, some kind of memory or something.
He had like a trauma response for sure.
But maybe if you have some kind of PTSD surrounding kidnapping, don't work as a mall cop.
Yeah,
maybe?
or like anywhere where there's children,
totally.
Maybe.
Alas, because of this instance, Mike is fired for beating up a man just trying to grab his actual child. He meets with Steve Raglan, a.k.a. our sweet Prince Matthew Lillard.
I was so happy to see him so early on in the film.
I know.
Like, I knew he was going to be in it, but guys, truly, I had no fucking clue when he was going to be coming into the film. I went into this very blind.
Same.
I feel like you did too. So I was so excited to see him. I was like, oh, okay.
Our little sweetie up on the screen.
Little cutie guy.
So Matthew is playing Steve, and Steve is a job counselor, somebody who's trying to place people in jobs.
Yep.
And Steve is kind of shit-talking on Mike, saying there aren't many options for him because he has fucked up a lot of his old opportunities that he had. When he's speaking with Mike, he sees his last name on the paper, and Steve's tune then like shifts.
Yeah, that's such a weird, that was like a really weird scene.
Yeah.
I didn't really catch the significance of that until way, way later in the film.
Yeah, it's like he noticed.
It's subtle.
It's subtle, but he noticed his name finally, his full name, and then his attitude shifts. He says, I might actually have something for you. It's a gig as a night guard. The pay is shit and the hours are worse. Do you want this job? Mm-hmm. And Mike says he can't do nights. And Steve eventually sends him off with his business card just in case he changes his mind about this night job.
Yeah. Yeah. When Mike gets home, there is a notice of delinquency note on his front door, which we can infer means that he's like behind on his rent or something. And he's just like trying his best with Abby, but it seems like he's a bit distant with her. They just have like sort of an interesting relationship. He is trying to connect with her, trying to ask her how her day is, all of that kind of, normal stuff that a guardian or parent or brother would do for their sibling. And she's a little defiant too. She's very artistic, and you can tell she just sort of likes to do her own thing and really doesn't want to be told like what to do.
And while they're having this interaction, if it's even worthy of that. Abby's drawing her quote-unquote friends, pen to paper, just drawing like a child does. And she's also speaking to her imaginary friends that seem to be in the room with them. So she definitely has an active imagination that is, as do most children, but this might get her into a little bit of trouble later on.
It just might.
And so eventually they part ways for the evening, and Mike preps for bed with some pills, a Nebraska poster, and a white noise machine. And I want to know why Mike chooses toucans or something. It sounds like freaking toucans from the Enchanted Tiki Room to soothe him to bed.
He's, I think we in the beginning, we're very confused by this, but we obviously find out a little later that all of this stuff that he's trying to induce while sleeping is all very, very purposeful to try to remember something very specific. So
it's definitely trying to unlock something in his memory, but his little formula includes a noise that really distracts my brain. Maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, maybe it's me. It's me. So as Mike is dreaming, he dreams about a camping trip that he had with his family. And this is the first time that we start to get a little bit of background on some trauma that Mike has had in his life. And as he's sleeping and dreaming, he has this dream where his brother is being abducted. And this, we can tell by how it's all set up that this is obviously a real memory that he's sort of like reliving. And he was there when his brother got abducted, and it seems like there's a part in his memory where he just cannot seem to place the face of the person that took him.
Yeah, and we can kind of gather from this he's trying to use his dream theory here to unlock this memory to then hopefully find more information that he knows is in there, but he hasn't been able to capture yet.
Exactly. Then the next day at Abby's school, Mike is there and he is speaking to a child psychologist with the school. The psychologist is talking to not only Mike, but also we're introduced to his Aunt Jane and her lawyer, who I fucking love, but we can talk about Doug later. They're talking about just Abby in general and sort of how she's doing in school, how she's doing socially. And Jane is just going off about how she can't believe that Mike is supposed to be taking care of a mentally ill child who draws pictures all day and talks to her imaginary friends, quote unquote.
I'm sorry, doesn't every child draw pictures and have imaginary friends? Jane would have hated me because I did so much of this shit.
No, it's like, just tell me you hate art.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Hello? And Jane, she's trying to hit this like power play for sure. She's threatening Mike with a court order if he doesn't relinquish custody. She feels that Mike is just not very fit. And obviously, Mike like losing his job recently is not looking good. And there's a lot of things stacked against him. You know, he's behind on his rent. He has a hard relationship already with Abby. He's trying to hold on by like a fucking thread to this girl and just trying to live his life. And then he's got Aunt Jane in the background just being a fucking nuisance, you know?
And Aunt Jane is clearly there for the wrong reasons. You can tell she's not super into being, you know, a guardian to a child. Mike takes it away as she just wants that check from the state, which you do get money from the state to take in children.
Yeah, he says that. He has a moment later on where he is able to confide in the psychologist just one-on-one. And he says like Jane is only after the financial support that she would get for caring for Abby, which is such bullshit.
And Mike actually goes as far to say, you know, maybe it's for the best. I don't feel like Abby even would care if I was gone. And then this school worker lady, she says to Mike, nuh-uh, pictures hold tremendous power for children. Before we learn to speak, images are how we learn. She points out that Mike's at the center of all of Abby's drawings. So he's like,
so sweet.
So he's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's pretty clearly showing that he has had a big influence on her life and that she sees him as like a very big, what's the word I'm looking for?
Influence?
She has like good structure with Mike, even if he doesn't feel it.
Stability.
Yeah, there's stability coming from their relationship.
I would say it's not so much about the stability here. It's about the relationship they have.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mike isn't so stable.
No, that's true.
Not to say Aunt Jane is either, but
Yeah.
it's the relationship that is the powerful point here.
He's got to give himself a little bit more credit.
Totally.
Yeah. Then later at home, Mike calls Steve because he just had this situation at the school. I think he's second guessing this job that was offered to him by Steve. And he calls him and is like, you know what? I will accept. And this is mostly so that he can work on bettering his life in case Aunt Jane tries to come after custody of Abby, he needs to have a stable job. During this exchange with Steve over the phone, Steve gives him a series of kind of some bullet points, so to speak, on the backstory of the place that he's going to be working security at. So the history is that this place, this pizzeria, was a big hit in the 80s. They have had some trouble with break-ins over the years. It's not an open and functioning pizzeria, but the owner doesn't want to part with it because it's very sentimental to him. Something important is that the security system is not great, but it is functional. And also the electricity is very iffy. And there is a breaker in the main office that will turn everything on in case anything happens. And his last thing that he leaves him with, quote unquote, is just keep your eyes on the monitors and keep people out. And one thing I want to say about this is I love that line because even though I did not play the game, that is the whole premise of the game, right? Like from what we've learned is watching these fucking monitors. So it's kind of a cool probably little Easter egg for people that are watching it that are fans of the game.
Also marketing. Good job.
Yes.
I have a question. So they need a night guard, right? Why is there no day guard?
I wonder if their case is just saying, oh, like there's just been break-ins mostly at night because break-ins historically usually don't happen as much in the daytime. So I wonder if that's why. But wouldn't you think like you need someone 24/7? But
something that Raglan also ends on is he says to Mike, I'll catch you on the flip side, hopefully. Why isn't Mike sketched out by that?
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh.
Red flag.
It's one of those things, right, though, that happens just in conversation with someone and you are just exchanging words and Mike's probably not thinking two things about it until later on and he might be revisiting that conversation in his head and like, oh God.
Let's hope so because it's not natural for someone to just add in, hopefully.
I know. Hopefully. Something I wanted to ask you about too is that I know we've talked about this film not being super deep. However, I will say that Mike's desperation and just guardianship, so to speak, really gives this story a lot of emotional weight. And does it make him more compelling at all, or does it feel a little bit too subplot heavy?
I definitely think it's overly intentional that this is what we're supposed to feel and how it's supposed to drive the plot forward.
Yeah.
Not saying that's a bad thing, but it doesn't pull at my tiny black heartstrings an ounce because I know it's just a way to get us from point A to point B. Sorry, I have a black heart.
No, it's okay. I agree though. I felt like when I was introduced to the story of Mike and Abby and their history of why they're in the situation that they're in, I thought, okay, cool. This is just going to set us up for the story. But it becomes such an integral part of everything that it feels a little unnecessary to go that far into that subplot.
Like, we get it.
Yeah,
we get it.
Just my thoughts, you know? But moving on, Mike is now entering his first night at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. And he enters this old, like, dusty building, middle of the night, and it's like frozen in time, like a cursed Chuck E. Cheese from 1987. There's cobwebs, there's powered down arcade games, broken lights, just perfect decaying nostalgia, if you will.
2 questions. When was the last time you went to a Chuck E. Cheese?
Oh, God.
Today.
It's probably been too long that I don't want to age myself on this podcast.
Fair enough.
How about you?
Probably since I was a kid. So.
Yeah, I was going to say when I was a kid, for sure.
Did you ever have a party there as a kid?
Yes, I had a birthday party there many a time.
I attended them. I think it freaked me out a little bit.
I loved it more than anything.
You would.
I loved the pizza. I loved when Chucky came out and I would hug him and give him fist bumps and stuff and take photos with him. I think I have like many photos. It was the easiest place, I think, for parents to take kids in kind of a controlled environment at the time when we were kids.
So I was passing by one the other day because they do still exist.
They're still around.
I guess they've rebranded and I mean, as you must with the times, you know, otherwise it'd be super creepy if it was stuck when how it was when we were kids. But I was thinking to myself, how do parents get through this while they're entertaining their children? Good news. They do serve alcohol there.
Okay, I was just going to ask. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Wait, do we take your nephews there the next time they're in town?
Definitely.
Okay, let's do that because that sounds fun.
I'm in.
As Mike is in the surveillance room checking everything out, he's watching the monitors and he stumbles upon a really funny old security training video where he learns a little bit more about the animatronics and their quote unquote proprietary technology. And this video is giving perfect nostalgia training video vibes, and it's so perfect and cheesy.
I love a throwback educational video.
Me too.
This one oddly explains a lot about their robots.
It's too much about the robots.
It's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
And my God, can you imagine having your job be just staring at several monitors for 8 hours? I would lose my shit.
It's one of those jobs where it sounds good in theory,
No.
right? Because you think, oh, I might be able to like read a bunch of books, or I can just kind of scroll on my phone, or blah, blah, blah. That gets so old after like an hour.
However, your job is not to be able to do those things. It's to straight up
It's
watch
true.
those millions of monitors.
Yep.
That is your job.
That's very true.
Your
Very
job
true.
is not Ken or Beach. It is security.
It is security.
He's watched this video. He's kind of looking around. He opens a locker in the control room. He finds a security vest and he puts it on. Like, why?
I thought about that, but let me tell you my reasoning. I think that it's important to have your security vest on in case a cop or someone were to come. This is before Vanessa even shows up, but let's say a different cop came. You don't want them to think that you're an intruder and that you're breaking into the place because you say, oh, I'm a security guard, and you're not wearing anything that says you're a security guard.
Sure.
That was my thought.
I, too, could go on Amazon and get a security guard vest.
And I think people do that,
I should do that.
unfortunately. It's like one of those things that you're kind of hiding in plain sight. I'm sure people like do that exact thing because they're trying to make it seem like they are.
Yeah.
But anyways, we could probably go down like a whole K-hole on that.
Oh, a K-hole, huh?
I was telling someone this weekend that you like to say that. So I love it. We've coined it for the pod.
I gotta get a, what is it, like a trademark?
Oh, I was like, what?
I gotta
I'm
trademark
scared.
that.
So Mike eventually leaves the room and he goes to explore the rest of the building. And he eventually finds the animatronics. So he runs into Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, who are all sitting motionless backstage. But something feels very off about this whole thing.
He kind of peeks behind the curtain to see these animatronics.
Scary.
I, however, feel bad for them.
Oh, do you?
Like, let them shine.
Okay. Yeah.
They're trapped in this restaurant. Leave the curtain open. Let them see what's going on.
However, knowing what we know about them, don't you think that they're just putting on a facade right now and that they probably do let themselves shine and they perform every album from Journey from front to back when no one is around?
I surely hope so. I really hope so.
Me too. I would like to see that show.
Too. I was going to say for their sakes, but nah, for our sakes.
For ours. Mike finds his way back into the surveillance room and he falls asleep on the job and has one of his recurring dreams of his missing brother, Garrett. This dream always ends in failure, unfortunately. But this time it is a little bit different. So where it usually ends is that Mike is seeing his brother Garrett in the back seat of a vehicle with someone driving Garrett off. But this time there are more children that show up in his dream. And it's seemingly the 5 kids from the drawing in the very beginning that were holding hands with the yellow rabbit. Scary.
And the kids are standing behind Mike. Aren't they creepy?
They're so creepy.
Like, why are they so creepy?
Yeah. And can I tell you too, the minute I saw this, do you know what I thought, what this reminded me of?
Could have been several things. Was it Black Phone?
It was the Black Phone, likely because we just reviewed it.
Yeah.
So that's very fresh in my mind. But oh my God, the correlation with children and communicating through dreams and all, I was like, oh my God, is this Freddy place the grabber in so many ways?
Is it the Stanley Hotel and everybody has The Shining?
Oh,
Does it?
we have a lot of questions
There's
here.
a lot of
parallels.
Yeah.
Mike then jolts awake from his dream. So
he falls in his dream and then he jolts and falls in real life.
Yes,
Have
absolutely.
you ever done that?
Yes, it's so scary.
It's so scary.
It's so scary. I've never fully fallen off of something though, thankfully. I feel like I've always been safe, but I have had many times the sensation of falling.
Yeah, I've had straight up real jolts.
That's
like,
scary.
almost on the floor.
Yeah. He eventually comes back home after his first shift at Freddys. And when he gets home, he talks with Abby's sitter, Max, about how his first night went. And at first I thought that they were boyfriend, girlfriend.
So did I. And we never actually get real context how they know each other.
Yeah, it's a little bit, a little unexplained, I would say, in this film. We don't get anything more. It's just a very quick exchange. And then later we see Max is at a diner now. This scene really confused me because it's like we saw Max at the house. She was just babysitting Abby. Then I guess she leaves. Now, all of a sudden, we're with her. She's with her brother, Jeff. And then she's also sitting down with Jane, which is Mike and Abby's aunt, and Jane's lawyer, Doug. And we find out with them all sitting together that apparently Jane hired Max to try and find evidence against Mike's caretaking so that she could have something substantial to hold up in court, essentially.
This scene really made me laugh a little bit. He specifically Doug. So they're trying to negotiate this weird interaction. Basically, Jane just wants anything to prove that Mike is an unfit guardian, mess his situation up, any dirt, anything.
Max has nothing bad to say about Mike. She's like, yeah, he sleeps a lot.
Yeah, and she says that Abby is a delight as a niece. And so Jane's clearly pissed. Jeff, Max's brother, says, okay, let's kill him. And at least Jane was like, okay, we don't need to go that far, son. They come to the resolution that, okay, we'll go break into Freddys because this is now where he works. And if he's failing at his job, he'll lose it. And hence,
it'll help in court and all of those things. Yeah.
I was just like, why are we trying to kill him now? I also think it's so odd that that's how Aunt Jane is plotting to get what she wants. It's giving Casper where Kerrigan and Dibs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is for sure.
Right.
Giving Casper in the worst way.
Yeah.
Also, was it just me, or when you first saw them all sitting together, did you have a moment that you questioned if Max was maybe Jane's daughter and Jeff? I don't know. I think I was confused because I'm like, okay, you were just watching, Max was just watching Abby. Then they're now at the diner with Aunt Jane. I just thought, oh, maybe they're all family. But then obviously quickly I found out I was wrong.
Well, I thought Abby's name was Robin this entire time, so
there's a lot of things floating around here.
Who knows what I thought?
Regardless, Doug is our absolute fucking favorite.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious.
Jeff is straight up like, is Doug okay? And
Doug does not want to be there.
Yeah, he's like, this could be used against me in court. Yeah. I shouldn't be here.
He's like, I should not be listening to what you guys are colluding.
However, they land on the resolution that Jeff and his friends will go fuck up Freddys and Aunt Jane will give
them $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000
is not enough. No. Sorry, but okay.
Desperate times.
Desperate times. The next night, Mike falls asleep again while working security, and he sees the other kids in his normal dream about his brother yet again.
I'm confused why he's actively trying to induce sleep at his job that is security. His only task is to stay awake. Mike even brings his Nebraska poster and his sleeping pills and his toucan sounds to his job.
To be fair, can I offer a devil's advocate?
Sure.
If I was in Mike's position, I am in this really low level job. I'm not being paid well. It's shit hours. I truly kind of don't care if I lose it.
Yeah.
In a way. I want to have it for Abby, but it's also shit. And I've seen this place.
Yeah.
It is a fucking rundown 80s child pizzeria.
That is also not actively open.
Exactly. I may just do whatever the fuck I want.
Fair.
As Mike does. So that's just my thought. I probably wouldn't because I'm a good girl and I would definitely follow the rules, but I wouldn't lie that I may accidentally fall asleep. He's purposely trying to fall asleep, but I kind of don't blame him.
See, I would probably try to disobey. Not try to disobey. I would just be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And want to sleep.
Or you'd leave.
I'd leave. Hey, I got 20 minutes. I'm going to run to Target.
Bye. Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. What errands can I run during this during this experience?
But actively try to sleep there? I don't know.
No. I mean, that makes perfect sense. He shouldn't be doing this. But during his dream, he is now sort of aware that he's in this with these children. And I think he's connecting the dots a little bit that these children have shown up for a reason. Maybe they have a clue to how to find out who took his brother. And so he straight up asks them to help him figure out, okay, do you know who it was that took Garrett?
And there's one of these children in particular, the blonde one, who seems to be a ringleader of some sorts. He's the one most active with Mike. And he, to me, looks like a man boy.
He's a little bit, he's scary. He's giving like Children of the Corn leader.
He also looks like Ryan in High School Musical.
Oh.
The musical.
Okay. The musical.
Just
Wait, that was so fun. High School Musical. The musical. Wait, that like really made me happy.
Good. Just a little context. Anyways, little man boy is active with Mike, and Mike kind of sees that he can maybe get some information from these kids. But as he's running after them to try to just talk, but the kids are running away as kids do. And one of the kids, little redhead guy with a little paper hook on his hand, actually clips Mike in the dream.
Yes, I forgot about that.
He clips Mike in the dream. Mike wakes up and is actually bleeding in the same spot. And so now are we doing a Nightmare on Elm Street thing, you know?
I'm so fucking happy that you said this, because I think at this point in the movie when I was watching, you know, I already said previously that I was getting the black phone vibes, but also what did the black phone remind us of? Freddy.
That's true.
All of these like dream sequency sort of back and forth between what's real and what's not, totally giving Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. And especially with this whole like late 80s vibe too.
Also, Freddys. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Duh. I could also see Mr. Krueger hanging out here. It's his prime spot.
That is so true.
Did he not know about this?
Wow. And it's the 8. Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Freddy, if only you could go back, my friend.
We can all go back.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. When Mike wakes up and he's leaving his shift for the evening and about to go home, a police officer named Vanessa, she arrives just as he's leaving, and she kind of warns him and talks to him a little bit about the place. And I think at first she questions him and is like, oh, like you're the new security guard. And she tells him like this place has a story and she used to go there as a kid and she loved the place. And she also makes it very clear to him that the security guys usually quit because some weird stuff happens there, but she doesn't allude to exactly what.
She sort of teases it.
Yeah.
And then changes the subject very fast several times throughout the movie.
Totally.
She begins to tell Mike that he's acting suspiciously. Bitch, Vanessa, you acting suspicious. Suspicious?
Suspicious. Vanessa, you acting suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and she asks him if he has quote unquote met them yet.
If somebody would have said that to me like that, I would have said, you good? Something seems off.
What do you mean, sister?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? She also hints at the 5 missing kids from the 80s, but won't say a lot more other than that, and won't say that we find out later that's the reason the place was shut down. So she's a little bit of a tease, kind of.
It's evident that she knows stuff she's not telling Mike or us.
But then it's like, why are you leading this man on with your, you're making him interested in what you are trying to say, but you're not leading on to what the context actually is.
Yeah, so it's Mike's fault for not catching on.
Yeah.
You're the problem, Mike.
Exactly. Then she takes Mike back inside, I believe, at this point, and she officially shows Mike all of the animatronics in their performance form. And this is when we get that iconic Talking in Your Sleep song performance. And they tell me that you love me. I fucking love that song.
You really do.
I'm pretty sure that played either at my local Chuck E. Cheese, or there's just a reason why I love it.
A really creepy song.
That would, you're right.
For Chuck E. Cheese. I wouldn't put it past him, though.
You never know. You never know. As they're doing their little performance, though, the animatronics quickly short out, and it's a little scary. They kind of like, zzz, zzz, and they shut off.
And Vanessa's like, oh, next time.
And as Mike is leaving in the morning, after like he's hung out with Vanessa and, the whole thing, we see that Max's brother Jeff was sort of watching him as he was leaving, and he is with Max and some other friends because this is presumably when they're going to come in and fuck the place up like they told Aunt Jane that they were going to do. After Mike leaves, they do indeed break into Freddys and they make a huge mess of everything. And they're also there to like potentially steal anything that seems valuable. And it really hurts my heart actually, quite a bit.
It's grabbing something in your childhood.
Because it's already a fucking run-down place. Do you really have to, like, beat a horse when it's down? You know what I mean?
I know. Some people find pleasure in that.
Sorry, what?
It's beating a dead horse or kicking a dog.
Hey, but that's what I do. I combine phrases all the time.
Sorry, guys. I just combined two phrases of beating a dead horse and kicking a person when they're down.
I liked yours.
So, but you guys get what I mean, okay?
I understood what you were saying.
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you.
What I want to say is for a place that has hired people exclusively to keep other people out, they do a really shit job of protecting the exterior and keeping people out just in general. These idiots got in way too easily. Again, why no day guard? It's the daytime now. We got to put that on LinkedIn. Day guard needed. Job post.
This is the perfect argument for that.
Yep.
100%.
I'll bring it up to sea level. We'll get this listed on LinkedIn soon.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Also, these guys breaking in make zero attempt to cover their tracks. No gloves, just willy-nilly throwing shit everywhere, not checking to see if they're being recorded on the security footage.
Literally no regard.
They don't care if they get a misdemeanor.
Yeah, maybe it's just the $1,000 is more worth it.
Shit,
I don't know. So they inevitably do a bunch of fucked up shit to the place. You know, they're breaking stuff, they're stealing, etc. And one of the friends, he's messing some things up, I believe, in the kitchen. And he hears some weird noises and he's alone. So he's a little confused. And he turns around at one point and we see the chick animatronic, Chica. And she's holding Mr. Cupcake, and Mr. Cupcake flies off of her and attacks the guy very gruesomely.
Okay, but is it just me or are Chica and Mr. Cupcake so cute?
So cute.
If you give a cheek a cupcake.
Oh.
Am I right?
Love
if you
it.
give a mouse a cookie, that used to be my favorite book.
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't have to explain it to me.
Thank you. Okay,
I
good.
fully
Good,
got
good.
where you were coming from. Yeah.
Such a millennial thing.
Yeah. Jeff, Max's brother, then breaks into the surveillance room. And as he's in the surveillance room, he's looking at some of the monitors and he sees another friend, Hank, who is running through the building for his life because he saw the other friend get attacked by Mr. Cupcake in the kitchen. And now he's freaked the fuck out and trying to get out of there. And it's so funny. Then Jeff goes to investigate and runs into Freddy the bear. And he manages to escape momentarily to the surveillance room, and he sees a couple of the animatronics on the monitor who have sent Mr. Cupcake into the vent to attack him. So, you know, we're having a callback to the beginning with the whole vent situation.
They also just watched Die Hard.
They did. They're like, let me get up in that vent.
But I love the little black and white cameo of the animatronics on the monitor. The little cuties are just looking at the camera being like, we about to fuck your shit up.
And I wonder if that is related to the game. Maybe that same kind of view is on the game because you do look at the monitors when you're in the game. So eventually Jeff gets attacked, but we don't see the entire thing happen.
We do, however, hear that lit ass scatting from Foxy.
Little Foxy and Scatman Crothers.
Yep. Fucking love it.
By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Max has been outside the entire time. She did not partake in any of the festivities inside, but she saw Hank run out, like scared for his life. And she goes inside to investigate, and a little boy asks Max to follow her. And she doesn't, I don't believe she fully sees him. She just hears his voice, right?
She kind of hears laughing and running away. And the way this little kid runs away reminds me of the little newspaper boy man from Insidious.
Oh my God.
You know, tiptoe
through the tulips, through the garden. I wonder if we need to record our own horror soundtrack album.
I'm going to let you do that one on your own.
Would you guys like that?
Please say no.
Everyone message us and tell us yes.
Emma will learn the saxophone to play that one song from Lost Boys.
Oh, I will. I still believe. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things that I will learn for this album.
ADHD is high tonight.
It is. Okay, we're getting back into it. Max is freaked out by this little kid that's asking for her to follow him.
It's hard because her name is Max.
Yeah, my God. But she obliges, and he leads her to an old, I think it's a storage type room where some of the older animatronic pieces are, but these animatronics are not on. And a little boy's voice is now inside one of the animatronics that's sort of standing up on its own. And it lures Max to take a peek inside of its mouth.
It's saying warmer, like the hot and cold game.
No, it totally is. Totally is. Oh, it's so scary because she gets really fucking up basically into its mouth.
She puts down a chair to get higher to look inside. Why? Why would she do that?
Girl, don't do that. A little kid's hand grabs her from inside the animatronic and takes her head and decapitates her.
It bisects her.
That's what it does. Yeah.
Because her torso and legs just plop on the ground.
Yeah, this, I don't know how that fucking works, but yikes is all I have to say. Also, this is a good time to bring up, because I didn't bring it up earlier when we started the film review, but this film is very dark. There was a lot of times that I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, like visually.
Visually very, very dark. I have bad eyes, and it was hard sometimes to see what was happening.
I'm night blind, so.
So apologies if I'm getting anything wrong when we're talking about this. After that whole conundrum with Max, and arguably our most brutal kill so far in the film.
Maybe throughout the film.
Yeah. Okay, Max was not a good gal, but also
she didn't deserve that.
She didn't deserve that.
Maybe we don't know Max's backstory. Maybe she really needed that. Maybe she has a child of her own. She needs to support her children.
Yeah.
And she needed that $1,000. You know, it wasn't for meth at all. It was for the children.
Not for meth at all. No. But nevertheless, back at Mike and Abby's house, Abby, she doesn't seem stoked. And he even says to her, like, Abby, I'm trying my best here. He's in this shit job that he doesn't want. And it seems like everything he does in his life is for his sister's well-being and to make sure that he keeps guardianship of her. And as a kid, like, you're not realizing the sacrifices that adults around you are making. So it does tug at the heartstrings a little bit.
He opens a drawer, like a side table drawer, and walks away. And then Abby, for some reason, goes to the same drawer and tries to pull out that drawer. And Mike has been keeping the child custody papers that Jane gave him in this drawer. Maybe don't leave important documents readily accessible to children.
Yeah, that was not a smart move on his end.
So she finds them and she starts to freak the fuck out that she doesn't want to go live with Aunt Jane. Mm-hmm. Obviously, she's upset, as she should be.
Yeah, she's thinking the worst. Oh my God, you are literally signing me over to Aunt Jane.
And that's quickly interrupted because Vanessa, the cop, is now at their house. How did she get the address? I know she's a cop, but
I'm guessing just maybe small town. Maybe it's a lot easier. I also think cops can look up.
Yeah, but if you were Mike,
lot easier than we think.
If you were Mike, wouldn't you be like, why did she come to my house?
Well, I'd say, oh, this hot cop is coming to my house. All right,
true. This is true.
She's hot.
And seemingly around the same age as
yes,
Mike.
Exactly.
Right.
So
you got me there, sister.
I'd be like, you know what? However you found me, you know what? It's
you're
fine.
Here. Who knew?
And Vanessa tells Mike that someone broke into Freddys, and she makes him step outside for a second, and she's like, Mike, what are these? And she has his sleeping pills that he obviously left in the surveillance room, and they're prescribed to him and everything. And she's really... You can tell that she's not trying to accuse him of being like a drug addict or anything like that, but she's trying to say, hey, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Like, there was just a break-in and I'm finding your sleeping pills.
She basically says, you know, if you're too whacked out on the job to not even remember to lock the door, that's called criminal negligence or something.
Yeah.
She's basically giving him an out, saying, hey, I'm kind of covering your ass here.
Totally.
But, okay, Vanessa, I want to know how you found those sleeping pills but didn't find the disarray / potentially dead bodies in Freddys as well?
Yeah, hello?
Just the sleeping pills, huh?
What was the point of breaking in? Like, did you not do a more thorough investigation?
Where's the police report?
Yep. Yeah, were things taken? Mm-hmm. What's going on? Anyways.
I'm on to you, Vanessa.
We're on to you. And this is in the point in the film where things start to take a little bit of a turn. So he asks Vanessa if they can go and take a walk. So they're off by themselves. They're talking. And he fully confides in her about his brother and about the recurring nightmare he has about his abduction. And Mike explains that he thinks he has an idea who took his brother, but it's deep inside of his mind. And like he explained with the dream theory, like way at the beginning of the movie, he's trying to remember and trying to do all these things to help it click back into his memory so that he can figure it out. And it's so sad. And Vanessa explains that she really understands, but that he can't sacrifice the job that he's doing. And she warns him to stop falling asleep on the job and just to stay very vigilant.
Mike also goes into how their mom died after Garrett was taken, and the dad kind of went off the rails because he couldn't handle it. And I kind of need a child timeline here. So just for clarity, this movie is set in the 2000s, we believe, because it was timestamped on a monitor.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the year 2000, I believe.
Right. So I'm bad at math, but so in the 80s is when Freddys came alive, supposedly. Garrett was taken at a young age. He was like maybe 8, while Mike was, 12.
I wouldn't even say Garrett was 8. I would say Garrett was probably like 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's both super young, and now Mike is what, like 30?
Yeah, we don't know.
I guess the
ages are off.
The root of my confusion is, how the fuck old is Abby?
That's a great question.
Like, was she around when Garrett? Obviously
so
not.
I was going to mention that because she's never in any of the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And later in the film, Mike does mention, like, we had a brother, Garrett. He says, I don't talk about him a lot, but it seemed, it's kind of weird.
I got into a rabbit hole of, where did Abby end up in this time?
A rabbit hole?
A K-hole, rather.
A K-hole. Okay, got it. This is all just a weird situation between Vanessa and Mike. And it's weird that she's so gung-ho on not really caring about his situation with his brother, but she's more focused on him just being good at his job.
And protecting Abby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Later that night, Mike cannot get a hold of Max for babysitting. And we know as the viewer what happened, but obviously Mike has no idea and he's panicking. He's supposed to go work at Freddys and he doesn't have a sitter for Abby. So with no other childcare options, Mike has to bring Abby to the pizzeria during his shift. He tells her that this is not supposed to be a fun thing. He's taking her there and she needs to go straight to sleep while he works, and that there will be no playing or any messing around. While he gets Abby all situated to sleep and kind of makes her a little sleeping fort. It's really cute.
It's super cute. She loves a fort.
She does. Mike tries to clean up the place as best he can, which is so sweet because this poor man had people break in and try to jeopardize his job, and now he's having to clean up after them.
Well, and Steve did say at the top, you need to make sure it's clean too.
Yes, totally.
We also get another little jump scare by Balloon Boy. Where the fuck is the backstory on Balloon Boy, and why do we see him all the time?
And we only see him these few times and we don't get anything. So I also have that same question in my mind too. We need more background on Balloon Boy. Maybe the second one will answer some things for us.
True. Mind you, also, as he's cleaning up all of this mess, this is what Vanessa would have seen. Don't you think there should have been other police involved if this is what Vanessa had seen?
Yeah, I think it's very clear that she didn't fully report it, maybe to the level she was supposed to.
She's criminally neglected. Vanessa?
No, that's true. Friggin' Vanessa.
It's Vanessa's fault. She's the problem.
Yeah, she's the problem. And at about 4 a.m., Mike goes into the surveillance room and unfortunately he falls asleep yet again. And while he's sleeping, Abby, on the other hand, meanwhile, she's hearing her name and it sounds like a child that's calling her name, which we can guess at this point is probably one of the dead children, right? And this wakes her up a little bit and she ends up wandering into the dining room where the stage is and where all of the animatronics would normally have their little show. And one of the animatronics suddenly comes to life right in front of her. And back with Mike, in his dream, he sees the little boy, the little blonde boy again, and asks him more directly this time to help him find out who took his brother. And he says, and his little blonde little kid friend in his dream says, if we show you, what will you give us? ?
Okay, quid pro quo.
No, yeah, hello.
But Mike says he'll give them anything they want, which is foreboding. Something kind of interesting, not super important, but as this whole interaction is happening between Mike and the little blonde man boy, we can see the little blonde man boy is drawing a large bunny man in the dirt with a stick.
I mean, just another indication that clearly this is one of the kids from that drawing from the beginning with the yellow bunny.
Yep.
As Mike is still in his dream state, he hears a young girl, what sounds like screaming in the distance, which instantly wakes him up and he panics. He's looking for Abby, can't find her, and he's thinking, rightfully so, that the animatronics might have harmed her or something. But when he finds her instead of attacking her or anything, he finds out that she has befriended the animatronics.
She's like, look, Mike, these are my friends. Freddy, this is Mike, my brother.
He's horrified and really confused, and he's looking around at who could possibly be controlling them.
He thinks somebody is there. He thinks it's a joke. He thinks somebody's controlling them.
Yeah.
I don't think he's confused or worried enough.
Yeah, agreed. Fully agree. He should have taken her and gotten the fuck out of there immediately. You know, for the film's sake, he probably saw how much fun she was having, and it likely pulled on his heartstrings a little bit. It's been hard for them.
Also, he does believe in dream theory, so who knows what the fuck he thinks.
And in his mind, too, he's getting closer and closer to figuring out this whole dead little kids showing up in his dream and helping him potentially find out who took his brother situation.
Yeah.
So he probably doesn't want to leave because he's also so close as well to figuring that out a little bit more. It's all a multi-layered situation.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah.
He is somewhat confused and horrified, but kind of lets Abby interact with them for a few minutes. And then he says, yo, let's bounce. But Abby says, 1 second. And she mentions that the animatronics really like drawings. And she hands over a drawing to one of them. And she thanks them for playing with her. So she's thrilled at this whole encounter. She's like, hell yeah, these are my friends. I want to come back.
Yeah, and I don't think it's super, super clear just yet to Abby or to Mike who these animatronics actually are. But later on, when Mike and Abby get home in the morning, Mike tucks her back in bed. It's likely super early in the morning, so she's going to get a couple more hours of sleep. And he finds, this part creeped me out, actually. He finds some drawings that Abby had done previously of the animatronics before she ever met them or knew that they existed in the pizzeria.
What is it with kids and their cryptic psychic drawings all the time?
I think that films like this really hone in on kids having that sort of sixth sense and just that their imagination is on fire when you're younger and you see things. And we see it in so many different horror films, right? The Exorcist, Insidious, The Black Phone. It's just kids and dogs and animals.
Yeah.
They tend to just be more, I don't know, they have a heightened sense to this type of stuff. I don't know. It's definitely like a trope for sure.
I'm going to start leaving cryptic psychic drawings everywhere.
You should. You should.
I will.
And I will try my best to make sure you don't get committed.
Or don't, wouldn't be the worst place.
Just let you. Yeah. At breakfast, when Abby is finally awake, Mike asks her about her quote unquote friends, and she explains to him pretty clearly that they're ghosts, which is how the animatronics can move.
She basically says, of course they're ghosts, you dumb fuck.
No, totally. It's so wild.
But something kind of uplifting is she asks Mike for more soup, and Mike sees that as a little sign of improvement because historically in the movie, she hasn't been thrilled about eating. She doesn't want to eat. So he's excited that maybe this is improvement. She wants to eat. So he's like, hell yeah, let's get you more soup.
I didn't even catch that. That is such a good little nugget in there.
I think it only clung to my brain cells because it was soup.
And you're like, I love soup.
I love soup.
Yep. No, that's a great thing to point out too, because I think we're back in this crossroads of Mike doesn't want to do anything that would hurt Abby, but also if she's kind of enjoying it, and at this point it's not harming her and it's helping her eat or other things, he's probably looking past anything that would be like glaring red flags right now.
Nothing's urgent yet.
Correct. Yeah. During this discussion at breakfast, this sort of prompts Mike to talk a little bit more about their brother, as he doesn't talk about Garrett very much with Abby. And he says, hey, we have a brother. I don't talk about him much, but, we should talk about him. Like, he's your brother. He's part of our family, what have you. Mike then questions her about a drawing that looks almost exactly like Garrett being taken in the car that Mike sees in his dreams of the person driving away that has abducted Garrett.
Mike's not mad. He just really wants more information. Why is she drawing this? Blah, blah, blah. And Abby alludes to the fact that she can talk to these kids via the animatronics. And Mike asks, do they say anything about Garrett? And she says, no, they really just talk about the yellow rabbit, but I can ask them. Okay, have your little sister do your dirty work for you, sure. We get a shot of Vanessa staring at the child drawing wall And she's specifically looking at the one that has the 5 kids with the big yellow rabbit. And she looks petrified. She's inside the pizzeria right now, just staring at this wall. She looks like she might cry, she might shit, she might yell. And I just want to know, bitch, don't you have some DUI checkpoint to run? Why are you at Freddy's? Do you have any other jobs except for standing guard at Freddy's? She should be the night guard. She should be the day guard.
Plot twist, Als. She got her costume from Amazon.
There we go.
And she's pretending to be a cop.
Keeping Jeff Bezos in business. All right.
Literally. After we have this little scene with Vanessa, we see Mike and Abby arrive to Freddy's, and Vanessa's cop car is in the parking lot, which they're a little bit like weirded out about at first.
Abby says, oh, it's Vanessa's car. And Mike asks what Abby's friends say about Vanessa, and they say she's nice. So the robots think she's nice.
And that gives Mike, I think, a little bit more of a clue that Vanessa is still not giving enough away of what she possibly knows about this place. And I think he wants to dig into that a little bit more with her and get to the bottom of it. So as they go inside of Freddy's and Abby is left to go play, Vanessa and Mike are able to talk a little bit. And Vanessa explains the truth. And she tells him that the animatronics are indeed possessed by the spirits of the murdered children that went missing in the 80s. Then things take a fucking turn and they all make a goddamn fort together. And I'm saying everybody, including the animatronics.
I love this silly fort-making montage. It's healing something in my child heart. Would you not shit your pants of happiness if you were inside somewhere like this making a fort with these animatronics?
Oh, without a doubt. But what the fuck?
Something I will, yes, but what the fuck is right? Something real fast that I think we just brushed over is the awesome fact that these animatronics are actual practical effects. They're not CGI. They're actually have people in them working them to make them move. And Foxy is actually manned by 6 people to make it because it's more statuesque and like a leaner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So these are actual robotics.
Yes, that's a great point because you know how much we love fucking practical effects.
Yes.
I feel like we need to make a t-shirt that's like something about how much we love practical effects.
Write that down, producer.
Yeah.
But so, yes, they are these robots and everybody are making a fort, which gotta love. And when they're all finished with the fort, they're all laying on the floor looking up. Yes, the robots included. And this is so the holiday coded.
Oh my God, it absolutely is.
Right? Now we just need Mr. Napkin Head.
Okay, well, we've got Mr. Cupcake.
That's true.
That's true.
I'll take it.
That's true. And as Mike and Vanessa are under the fort, you know, with everybody too, I think Abby makes a comment. She's like, oh, it looks like it's going to rain or something because there's no like roof on their fort. And so Mike and Vanessa leave momentarily so that they can go and try to find something to make a top for the fort.
Before Mike leaves with Vanessa, he kind of whispers to Abby and says, hey, remember to ask the kids about Garrett.
Yes, because
this is some alone time for Abby and the kids so she can get some dirt out of them.
Yep. And Mike is just blinded by his want to get more information about his brother Garrett. You know, as him and Vanessa are off together, Mike is questioning Vanessa's reasonings for knowing so much about the place. And I love this part because he's finally being direct with her. She warns him to stop trying to use the animatronics to find out who took his brother, which is a little weird in the moment.
Yeah, their interaction here is kind of, it starts off playful and then it gets sort of tense.
Yeah, like there's a tension there for sure.
But none of them are saying really anything tense, but they leave the little storage room with tension between them. And Vanessa is saying, I'm just trying to help you, but you're not listening. Bitch, you're not saying anything.
You've been so vague for fucking ever.
The fuck, Vanessa?
Yeah. Then back with Abby, she is hanging out with the animatronics. They're having a ball. They start playing their music again on the stage. And she starts to strum the guitar just as Vanessa and Mike are walking back into the dining room and seeing them. And she unfortunately gets electrocuted. She ends up being okay. But after this whole ordeal, Vanessa freaks out on Mike a little bit and tells him to make sure that he doesn't ever bring Abby back to the pizzeria.
She says, don't bring her back, otherwise I will shoot you.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part.
That escalated quickly.
Also, girl, you were just having the time of your life building this fort with everybody. She's giving like mixed signals a
She's
little
fickle.
bit. Yeah, she's
a fickle bitch.
She is a fickle bitch, kind of like my sourdough. Anyways.
That's true.
Then the next morning, Mike is making bacon. It's a special occasion, it seems like. And
Mike literally coaxes Abby out of bed with the smell and promise of bacon.
Yeah.
And she walks into that kitchen just to be met with the sight of Aunt Jane. Don't use bacon for negative purposes like that, all right?
Now she's going to have a trauma response to bacon moving forward.
Nobody wants that.
And Abby's feeling rightfully super betrayed by this. She thinks, in her eyes, the perception is, holy shit, Aunt Jane is here to fucking take me away. And I don't appreciate that Mike didn't tell her ahead of time, hey, Aunt Jane is actually not here to take you. She's going to just babysit you today.
Especially after Abby having found the papers. 1 + 1 equals Aunt Jane is coming to take me.
Equals Aunt Jane's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And she's going to take me.
So Abby's pissed and runs to her room and actually scratches out Mike's face on all of her drawings. Okay, ring much.
Oh my gosh. When I saw that, that did hurt my heart. It hurt my heart a lot.
It freaked me out. I was like, this crazy bitch.
So Mike goes back to the pizzeria and he is purposely again trying to dream and hopefully talk to the dead kids because he wants to see how far things got maybe with Abby the day before. This time they show Mike a different memory that's not real. So we've explained that previously he gets this recurring dream all the time of him camping with his parents. He sees Garrett get taken and then the dream ends right before he's able to see who the person was that abducts him, right? This time it's similar, but the parents and Garrett are like happy and they're all together.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem at all like Garrett's going to be taken. It's just very weird. And Mike is rightfully confused.
Mike knows something is different. He looks troubled. He's like, this isn't right. This isn't how this normally goes. The creepy children show up and Mike insists to them that he just wants to know who took Garrett. He just wants to know who took him.
Yeah.
To like take him down, I guess. And the boy man child says, nah, you want to bring your brother back. You don't want to just know who took Garrett. You want him back. And then Mike's like, yeah, man boy has a good point. I want to change this situation. I want
You
Garrett.
want to go back basically and fix it.
Yeah. And
Very manipulative of little Mr. Man Boy.
yes. So he basically says to everybody, yeah, you can take Abby. I want Garrett back.
Yeah, I
And-
think they say at one point, we want Abby.
Yeah, they do. They literally say, we want Abby. And Mike says, sure. He realizes that they actually want Abby to join them for forever. They want Abby to be one of them in exchange for Garrett. And yeah, he agrees to it at first. And then he realizes like, oh shit, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I take it back. But he's still stuck in this dream state.
And the kids, just like previously that redhead kid that injured him with the hook, the kids start injuring him in his dream again.
I low-key thought they were to kill him.
No, it was very scary, very scary. And this is happening in real life, but the animatronics are doing it to him. And they've captured Mike's body and they have him adhered to, some kind of board where they have him strapped down. And that thing from the beginning with like the buzzsaw situation is coming back into play.
It's the same torture chair that the guard got killed in.
Torture chair. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And I really think that what's coming towards the face while you're strapped to this chair is an animatronic mask because it has the gears inside of it. And
yes,
that's these animatronics trying to make these people one of them because that's what they want. They want to make you one of them.
Yeah. They want you to be stuck in there with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He escapes somehow, of course. And Mike is able to go to a different part of the building and he finds the dead bodies finally of Max, her brother, and his friends. And it's so sad.
And it looks like they were also trying to be stuffed into the robot suits as well.
Yes.
You can even see the guard from the beginning. You could see him in his suit and his face looks like gears had torn the shit out of it.
Oh,
so,
I didn't even catch that. Oh, that's a really good catch. And Mike runs away and we can hear Foxy scatting coming towards him.
I swear, if there's not a Foxy song on this movie soundtrack, that is a huge missed opportunity.
There must be. There has to be a reason this is so apparent.
please, because what a bop that would be.
Then back at Mike and Abby's house, Jane is still watching Abby and she's trying to talk to Abby, but Abby has rightfully shut her out and is not hanging out with her at all. And we see that as Abby's in her room trying to avoid Aunt Jane, a Freddy animatronic has snuck into the house to try to get Abby without Jane knowing. And Freddy quickly turns into the blonde boy ghost.
And the kid says, no, it's not Freddy.
Yeah, because she says, oh, hi, Freddy.
Yeah.
And then immediately it turns into the blonde boy ghost.
Yeah, and then I watched a YouTube, like a behind the scenes, and it said this is actually Golden Freddy. And we get no context as the viewer, but apparently the Golden Freddy is a supernatural robot that can somehow like disappear and reappear. I don't know anything more than that, but they give us no context in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's different than Freddy. And
no wonder Abby's like kind of questioning it. Like, Freddy? Is that you?
But basically, Golden Freddy / man-child boy blonde kid say, hey, you need to come back to the pizzeria. We're ready to play with you. And she's like, word, let's go. And obviously they're leaving and Abby sees feet on the floor, not the rest of the body, just like legs on the floor behind a couch. The little kid says, oh, silly Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. Them fuckers killed that bitch. This is one of my favorite parts, though, is Abby says, how are we going to get there? And they straight cut to a cab that's just waiting outside with music bumping in it. I was not expecting that. And
it's so funny.
And Abby gets in the cab, and so does the animatronic bunny. And the driver's just like, why do I always get the fucking weird rides?
This is arguably my favorite scene in the entire film because as the viewer, we see just the perspective of the side profile of the driver. We don't see Abby climbing in or the robot, but we hear Abby's voice. She climbs in and he's like, oh, where are we going, little lady? And then all of a sudden someone else gets into the car and the whole car fucking shakes because clearly it's something fucking very heavy. And that's when he's like, why do I always get the weirdos?
I love it.
It's so fucking funny. And we get a little taste of him at the end too, which is just so fantastic.
Good on that guy.
Yeah.
It does beg the question, how did a robot or a ghost child call a cab?
These are all things that I wish I fucking knew.
Yeah. It's a movie.
Well, they definitely used the landline. It was the year 2000. How did we feel about Aunt Jane going down?
I'm cool with it.
Kind of deserved a little bit.
She was a big C word.
It's a little bit of a comeuppance.
She just wanted that check, honey. She wanted that bag.
Oh, her and Doug, lawyer Doug,
I know.
gonna ride off into the sunset.
Shoot, Doug's out of a job now.
Shit.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. Also, we haven't talked too much about it, but what are your thoughts of the ghost kids? They feel so conniving.
I mean, we obviously learn what happens to them, but their motive, I'm not sure their motive. I think I'm really thrown off by the whole supernatural / animatronic mix, the combination.
Totally, yeah.
I'm kind of confused
Same.
by it because they're throwing both at us, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
What's your thought process there?
It feels, okay, from a deeper perspective, children are always looked at in a veil of innocence, right? So
Are they?
Usually.
Okay.
Unless they're super evil, possessed by demons,
Damien?
Whatever. Well, that's who I was thinking of specifically. But most of the time, like we're looking at children, especially children in horror films, and there is this veil of innocence over them. There is like a reason that they're in said film to just make us feel a certain way and feel maybe a little protective over them. But in this film, we go so back and forth several times. Like when I first learned that the animatronics were the children that passed, I immediately was like, oh my God, my heart. Why are there ghosts trapped with these animatronics? What's going on? But then when they get a little bit manipulative towards Mike and they want Abby to be with them and stuff, that's when it got a little bit, ooh, okay, we're heading into evil children territory.
Yeah, but
know?
I think it also has to do with the fact that yes, children are more so typically seen as innocent. Yes, they have a lot of innocence. They're pure of soul, but they can also be manipulated super easily.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
So because they're so pure and of heart, they can be manipulated, which means they can manipulate others potentially.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just really thrown by robot ghost children. Because, like, why would they pick the animatronics from the creepy pizzeria to be stuck in for forever?
Well, we may find out soon about that a little bit. Back with Mike, he comes to after being passed out, and he, spoiler alert, did not get buzzsawed in the face, thank God. And he finds that now he's with Vanessa, and she's taken him to a police outpost.
I think she's making shit up.
This part was so confusing to me because now they're in a weird, different situation, different space where Vanessa says that they're in a police
like a storage bunker,
like outpost, storage bunker type place, and she's patched him up with all of his wounds that he got during his dream. And he tells her that they tried to kill him, but he's catching on a little bit now and guessing that she probably already knew that.
I want to know why now Vanessa's turned a new leaf. Where's this paradigm shift and that now she wants to help?
The whole thing is very strange, but I think we can deduce as viewers that
she's a fickle bitch.
And she's come to have some feelings for both Mike and Abby. Vanessa finally reveals everything. So she tells him that not only were the missing kids murdered by a man named William Afton, who is a technician/employee at Freddys, but he is also Vanessa's father, and that the children's bodies and souls became trapped inside the animatronics, which when I heard that the children's bodies were in the animatronics, I think personally, I don't know if you felt this way, Als, but I think that took the horror of this movie up a fucking notch.
I thought it was just like I would kind of like their rationale in the movie. In the movie, they said they hid them there because nobody would ever think to look in there. And I was like, oh, fuck, you might be right.
That's what freaks me out, I think, almost the most, is that there's these decaying children's bodies inside these children's animatronics that are made for their entertainment. So that, like, I don't know, that like really, really fucked with me for like a hot second. And then we also learn that William Afton is not dead.
Needless to say, I feel like we're still missing a lot of exposition. As Vanessa's revealing that her dad is William Afton, she pulls out a picture of her and her dad, and we see that her dad is wearing a big yellow bunny suit, kind of like we've been hearing throughout this entire film. And the little girl in the picture, who is Vanessa, is holding a Nickelodeon-ass toy plane. Did you not think that was a Nickelodeon that looked like slime award?
The blimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But so she's holding that in the picture, and then it flashbacks to Mike's dream where Garrett is holding that Nickelodeon toy. Sorry, it's orange.
We're just going to call it the Nickelodeon toy. Yeah.
Holding it in his memory, and boom, there's a correlation that Vanessa's dad is supposedly Garrett's kidnapper. Also, wouldn't that mean that Garrett should be possessing one of the animatronics?
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of information of, okay, these kids went missing at Freddy's, and there are 5 kids that now inhabit the animatronics bodies. But what about Garrett? Were there other children outside of Freddy's that William Afton might have abducted? And maybe we're going to get more answers in the second one. That's what I hope.
Or the third one.
Or the third, yeah.
Now Vanessa's revealed that she knows everything, and she's way more connected to all of this than she has previously revealed. And now she's ready to help.
Yeah. And she gives Mike some tasers. She says these are going to help short circuit the animatronics electricity so that he can try to rescue Abby. She is very clear, though, that she cannot come because if she's around her father, she's going to be no use to Mike. And Mike questions her and basically says, like, wow, your father really must have fucked you up, right?
Mm-hmm. She also says again, I just don't know why I can't get over this. She says again, I really did try to tell you. I tried to warn you in my own way. Bitch, no, you did not.
No, you literally were so fucking vague. You could have been way better.
So complacent.
Anyways, we can get to that in a minute. Back with Abby, Chica, the animatronic, takes Abby into the storage room. She is trying to put her into the old doll animatronic that they have laying around in the storage room.
She looks at the old doll that Chica's presenting her with, and Abby says, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this, Chica.
Yeah, and luckily, Mike stops it right in time and is able to grab Abby. And as they try to escape the building, Mr. Cupcake attacks Mike, but Abby manages to run away. Mike is then confronted by the yellow rabbit And this is pertinent to not only the photo that he just saw with Vanessa, but also the drawing that he saw earlier at the very beginning of those 5 kids with the yellow rabbit. We find out in this moment that the yellow rabbit not only is William Afton wearing his signature spring Bonnie suit, but we find out that William Afton is actually Steve Raglan.
I want to know why Steve Raglan is cosplaying
a career counselor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I want to know that too. In this moment when all of this is revealed, Vanessa actually does come back and she tries to come talk to her dad, not like talk to him, but they have a pretty heated conversation. And she's trying overall to just save Mike and Abby. Her dad is yelling at her saying that she was supposed to keep Mike in the dark and she was supposed to kill him if he got too close.
I wonder if she's actually a cop.
I mean, Amazon, we talked about
That's
it.
true.
She might be. Did you feel like this reveal of William Afton was predictable? Like, did you know it was Matthew Lillard? Could you deduce that?
I feel like my little heart deduced it.
Yeah. I think I saw it coming for sure.
Because this movie really is not that deep. This was just surface level enough to be like, yeah, for sure it's Matthew Lillard.
I was also happy that it was Matthew Lillard because I felt like we didn't get enough of him in the beginning.
You can always use more Matthew Lillard.
Absolutely.
Always.
And do you feel like this film uses like a parent-child dynamic as an emotional anchor? Talking about mostly like Mike and Abby, also William Afton, the kids,
I feel like
Vanessa.
a lot of shows and movies do really play into. Right now, for some reason, I'm specifically thinking of father-daughter dynamic. So I feel like that's a trope that we see a lot in movies and shows, just because they use it because it's true. There is that power dynamic between parents and children.
I think that when you have that relationship between a parent and a child, it can sometimes trump everything. It can trump what might be considered right and wrong. It can trump your own internal feelings about something because you have that strong tie.
Yeah,
you know?
even if it's not a child thinking what their parent is doing right, it's the love for the parent that is like stopping them.
No, without a doubt, fully agree, full stop.
Yeah. Full send.
Full send.
Is that the opposite of full stop?
Kind of. Huh. But they kind of like, I kind of feel like they both
same?
relate in this same way.
Cool. Somebody Gen Z tell us.
Yeah, let us know. So after this is all revealed and they're having this standoff, right, of what's going on, William Afton ends up stabbing Vanessa,
his daughter,
for trying to help Abby and Mike, which is so fucked up and just shows even more that he was emotionally manipulating her the entire time and that she was pretty easy to get rid of if needed, which is so sad. Mike also at the same time realizes that the ghost children don't necessarily understand that they were killed. And the reason that they don't understand this is that it seems like the drawings that are all up on that board in the pizzeria, they're all depicting the children having fun with the yellow rabbit. And it's clear that Afton manipulated them. Abby in this moment is able to draw a picture showing Afton hurting them. And this triggers the kids' real memories of what happened with Afton. And she says, they can see you now. They know what you did.
It's hard for me to suspend belief on this because why would the drawings indicate what happens?
Yeah, like why does that have an effect on their memory?
But then it goes back to the black phone where the kids were forgetting shit when they died.
Yep.
And I don't know. It makes sense in this world for sure. Good on them.
Yeah. After this is all revealed, the animatronics start to revolt and actually turn on Afton.
It's like the little kids at the end of Weapons.
It is.
Not as fast and awesome, but yes.
Sorry, Aunt Gladys. And Afton, he tries to retreat inside of his spring Bonnie suit, but the spring lock mechanism malfunctions, which starts to crush his body.
Mr. Cupcake also comes and chomps on his side, which triggers more of the springs.
Yeah. We didn't mention this earlier, but we saw with the doll animatronic that was sitting in the storage room that it had some really old spring mechanism in it that was made for a real person to be in the suit and to be able to walk around in it. But the springs were having issues. Sometimes they would trigger and they didn't want it to hurt someone.
Yeah.
So it's literally doing what it wasn't supposed to do, but it's kind of killing William Afton.
Yeah, it's straight up impaling him.
And I love this part actually because this is part of the game lore that I believe some of the fans were waiting for, which is really cool, is just seeing like the takedown here.
It's a long hour and a half to get to
It's a long journey.
Long journey to get here. I just love that Afton realizes that he's basically dying and kind of accepts his fate.
Yeah.
And puts the bunny hat on.
Yeah.
And just says, fuck it, bitches. I'm going to come back as an animatronic and I will be haunting this shit forever and I promise to come back.
On that note, the animatronics drag his body into the back room where he's trapped. And it seems as this part of the scene is ending that he's still alive, but he's definitely immobilized inside the suit. So we don't get confirmation that he or Vanessa are dead.
Correct.
Yeah. How did you feel about this ending of, at least the climax there?
I feel like to me, it was drawn out and happened very quickly for something we were trying to get to.
We had some build up for
it. It was very built up, but I think it perfectly sets us up for what's to come in future films.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very, very curious to see where things are going to go from here. To be honest, I would love to see Matthew Lillard again and even Vanessa. I'd love to know a little bit more about what's going on with her. Maybe we'll have a better character arc with what's happening.
Maybe she'll tell us why she's the problem.
Why she's a little bitch.
Vanessa, why are you a bitch?
And she'll finally tell us that she's actually a fake cop.
There we go.
So
send her to jail.
Now we are at the final scene of the film, and Mike and Abby, they've survived the ordeal, thankfully, and Abby is really thriving. She is returned to drawing. She is shifting her art to really good portraits, and she is making a lot of friends now. It's just, she seems to have come out of her shell a little bit here. And Vanessa, who was injured, she remains unconscious in a hospital bed with her future very unclear. And Mike and Abby actually go and visit her. They're not able to have a conversation with her. She's unconscious, but Mike says a few words to her, and it's clear that there is some emotional tie to Vanessa still a little bit.
Even though we just met her.
Yeah, like you don't know her or anything.
And she's a sketchy bitch.
But I think all in all, she did help in a lot of ways.
Certainly, yes.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
The final shot returns us to the front of Freddy Fazbear's, and it's quiet, dark, still holding its secrets, and like I said previously, we know that William is not quite dead. He's definitely in agonizing pain, but where are we going to go from here?
We'll see in number 2. Fiend.
Yeah.
Actually, not Fiend, because if you wait a couple seconds in the credits, we get to see our main man, the cab driver, again, and he gets a little visit by Balloon Boy in his cab.
Damn, I fucking hope we have more Balloon Boy.
Or some backstory.
We must.
Yes. And if you get to the very ending of the credits, we get a text overlay that spells out, "Come find me."
Ooh, yeah. Spooky.
Both of those things are a lot of this is very confident of the filmmakers to put in here because they're basically saying this is going to be a franchise.
Yeah, without a doubt. They are setting this up perfectly for not only people that have played the game, but people that are just watching for the first time like us. And they're like, hey, let's get this fucking shit going. I actually have a fun fact for you, Al, speaking of franchises. It was just revealed to me that Matthew Lillard, he signed a 3-film deal for this franchise, and Skeet Ulrich is going to be in the second one.
We'll see his pretty face on our screens real soon.
I'm very excited for this. Do you feel like the sequel should go darker or gorier, more lore heavy? Do you have any specific thoughts about what you're hoping to see in the second one?
Be better.
Okay, in what way?
I'm not shitting on this movie. Because it was so surface level.
Yeah.
It just was neither here nor there. Just make more sense, more detail perhaps. What I will say is I enjoyed the practical use of the animatronics and I loved the color, the imagery. So I like where they're heading with that. And more comic relief. I like the comic relief. What do you think?
I was just going to say, going back to your thoughts, one thing I noticed about you with all of the horror films that we review together is that you want to know all the shit.
I do.
Like, and it's not a bad thing at all. Like, tell me the fucking answers to the questions.
Otherwise, I'm asking the questions.
Exactly.
I'm poking the holes.
Yes. Yeah. I enjoyed this film from a very surface level perspective. I enjoyed the nostalgia. I enjoyed every moment that it was in Freddys. I did not care for the deep subplot of random shit that was going on with the deep sibling issues and family dynamics. That like drug it down a little bit for me, because I feel like, to your point, we could use some more comedy and make this more of just a very comedic light horror film. It doesn't need to be so deep. We don't need these deep like subplots on the side.
Focused so heavily on Mike and his problems and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to feel bad, because I already feel bad about the state of the United States. I don't really need to feel any worse about someone who's like having trouble taking care of their sibling who they're the guardian of. You know what I mean?
It's bad enough out here.
It's bad freaking
and
enough.
And he's in the year 2000. Keep that in mind.
Jesus. Yeah. Poor guy. What's he doing now?
I know. It's not getting better, Mike.
No, it's not getting better.
But going off of that, what were your final wrap-up thoughts of this film?
I am excited to see the second one. I think this pulls at my heartstrings a little bit because that nostalgia factor reminds me of Chuck E. Cheese. I do like a film that's a little different. We don't see a lot of horror films that are based around animatronic antagonists. So I'm very excited to see where it goes. I'm going to give it a chance.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
I will also give it a chance because I love Matthew and I love Skeet.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun with
and
them.
I agree with the nostalgia thing. It made us talk about our memories of like specifically Chuck E.
And we
Cheese.
hadn't thought about them in years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I still, there just a couple hangups I have. Like I said, it plays between the supernatural and the natural. What's the opposite of supernatural? Is it natural?
Reality.
It plays between the
supernatural and the natural.
I
like that.
Let's add that to the dictionary.
I like that.
But it's playing between the use of animatronics and the ghosts and all of that tied together, which is beyond my brain. Maybe I'm tired, but I also, like you said at the very beginning, this could have been an email. This was over an hour and a half. I didn't need that much.
It was 1 hour and 49 minutes.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck are you going to show us in an hour and 49 minutes?
And not going to lie, I did watch a 10-minute YouTube video that said everything we just said.
Oh.
It could have been an email or a 10-minute YouTube video. And I guess maybe before the next one, I'd like to do a little more research on my own about the game itself.
I was just going to say, I kind of want to play the game a little bit and see, now that I've seen the film, just like you said before, that like book to movie, like how does it change my perception of it maybe?
Absolutely. And maybe in the next one, how you kind of spoke about Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
I think Matthew Lillard should take off his Spring Bonnie suit's mask and say, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Why did he not say that?
He missed opportunity.
That would have been so fucking good.
Next time we see Matthew Lillard,
we need to tell him that.
Yes.
We should tell him that.
All right,
Not that we like talk to him all the time, but we go to cons and he's at cons. We could tell him.
I'll just ring him up.
Well, everyone, that was 5 Nights at Freddy's. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Spooky Chicks and Horror Flicks. And if you want some bonus content, join our Spooky Chicks social club on Patreon. Please subscribe or follow us wherever it is that you listen. That really helps the podcast get out there to more people who would love listening to us. But the best way to support the podcast is to simply just tell another friend that loves horror. And with that, Allison, would you like to close us out?
Absolutely. First off, because it's a holiday, I just want to say I am so grateful for both you and the producer.
Oh,
all day, every day, but especially today. And with that, avoid minimum wage jobs at pizzerias that employ haunted robots that have unionized for murder. Happy fucking Thanksgiving, and stay spooky fuckers.
Yeah.